Well, good afternoon, all. I am excited to kick off the year interviewing some Black women-owned businesses and decided who better to start with than the woman that knows all about fashion, Miss Patrice Fernandez. So, Patrice, I just love for you to introduce yourself and tell us about your business, before we get into some questions.
So it's my pleasure. Thank you so much, Erica, for having me. And always wonderful to share. And thanks for thinking about us Black women businesses. I know you're very big on that. So I have to commend you about that. So happy Black History Month, everyone. And so just to quickly introduce myself, I'm Patrice Da Costa Fernandez. I'm a certified image consultant and for over 20 years, unbelievable. And I specialize in improving your personal and professional brand. So what I do, I help you to up level. I help you to enhance. I don't change. I don't change people because I can't change, but I enhance. So, as I always say that, we all have strengths and weaknesses. So there are things that I'm seeing that my clients don't see. And I enjoy pulling more out of my clients, and I enjoy allowing them to be the best version of themselves. So in a nutshell, that's what I do. I enhance your wardrobe. I do personal shopping. I shop in your wardrobe to create new outfits for you. I assist with your styles for your body type, the colors to wear, the shades of colors that complement your skin tone. I help with accessorizing. I help with body languages. I also do corporate training. So in addition to styling, I help companies to improve their human capital, which their employees. So I help, I help them with their etiquette, their dressing, customer service, anything to improve their workforce. So in a nutshell, that's what I do. And of course, there's Stush Boutique. So, people, so even yesterday, Erica, someone is like, tell me, what is stuff? And they were like, that name. And I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted the intrigue, and I wanted, just like you say, Google. What is Google? When you hear
Right,
Google, what is Google?
right.
So stush is a Jamaican word which means style, sophisticated, successful.
Hmm.
And that's what we do. And we just help individuals to be more stylish, more successful, more sophisticated. And we've been doing this for 20 years and enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy. And the boutique is 2 years old, even though the company is 20, but the boutique is only 2 years old. Yes.
Well, congrats. Congrats on the 20 years. Congrats on the 2 years. And, I'm going to kind of piggyback on something that you said before you were explaining to us about your beautiful name, Stoosh. You were talking about how you support employers and businesses in terms of their human capital, their employees. So today, as part of our Workforce Wednesday, what I wanted to have you talk about is really about how does a young professional or maybe someone who's having a career change, how do they um dress for, you always hear the words like dress for success. How do they dress for that dream job that they're interviewing for? What are some of the staple pieces, with inflation and the cost
Mm,
of everything being so high? Gone are the days of people being able to spend so much money to kind of redo their whole wardrobe all in one swoop. And especially for young people who maybe, they're coming out of high school or it's their first job out of college, you're waiting for that first paycheck normally to kind of
mm-hmm.
do a little splurging. So you're trying to really piece together, some basic stuff that, could work both for the daytime. And then, as a young person, normally after work, you're going to like a happy hour or, other functions that, if you have a very, very corporate job, you may want to be able to dress down. But if you're like in Manhattan or even Long Island, you don't have time to go back home and change to a whole nother
Yeah.
outfit. Like at that point, you will have missed things. So can you tell us some kind of like staple pieces and how you would, if that was your client, how you would support them?
Right. Okay. So one main thing, the first thing that I would recommend is start off with your neutrals. So, but when you start off with your neutrals, aim for interesting neutrals or neutrals with details so that you can look fresh all the time. Okay. So yes, you need some basics, right? Some basics. So we have like a basic black blazer here that I will just show you, right? So this is a basic black blazer, right? There's not much to it. The fit is the key when you're getting your blazers, right? When you hold up your blazers, the key is looking at the stitching. So that's one thing. You want to make sure that your blazers, you can just always just put the blazer over a basic top, or you know what I mean? You don't have a lot of money. Like if you're just starting out, your blazers, spend as much as you can in your blazers because they are foundation garments, right? They're foundation pieces, I should say. So spend as much as you can in a blazer
Okay.
because this you can rock this with some jeans. Then you can work this for work with pencil skirt, with a long skirt, with some pants. You can put this over a dress. You know what I mean? So a blazer, you can wear this till the thread starts opening up. Okay, a nicely fitted blazer. So invest as much as you can in a blazer with high quality, the highest
Got it.
quality that you can afford.
Right, right, of course. Okay,
Right?
blazer. Blazer's a staple.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a staple. I can't stress enough how much it's a must-have, right? Then we have some tops. So I'm just gonna show some neutrals, but I'm gonna show neutrals with like, so we have a gray, right? So we have this gray top, but it has a little something, something to it, you know? And so picture this, you could put the blazer over this top in the daytime, right? Conceal this and say when you're ready to go out in the night or, you know, you get invited, then you put this on with your denim or your, you know, your fitted pants and you can go out, you change the necklace and you can go out. So, but the thing is, you're still in your neutral family, but neutral with details.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
To keep tab.
So yeah, then you're neutral with details. Here's another example, neutral with details. So this is a neutral top that you could do with some jeans for evening or going out for lunch. And again, voila, it works for work. It works
Mhm.
for right?
Right.
So neutral, but the details, you know what I mean? The details. So that's those are the things that I definitely would encourage someone who is just, you know, building a wardrobe. This is here you go. This is as basic as you can get a button-down shirt, but guess what?
Right, right,
The
right,
color.
right. Yes, and it's blue,
You
it
see?
pops out. Yes.
Right. So the color. So this is a basic button down, but we can do the color. You can rock this with your black. You could put this with your beige. You could do this with so many different colors because it's a neutral, right? And it's solid. Okay. So the thing is for individuals to let go of excuses, you know, that oh, I don't have a lot of money. And oh, you know, just remember one thing to remember is that your impression, the messages that you send out can affect your growth, believe it or not. Your appearance can affect your growth. And it's something that is often overlooked. And I can't, if we had time, I could tell you over the 20 years, I've worked with CEOs, I've worked with human resource consultants and human resource managers. I've worked with politicians, and I can't tell you how important it is that what you put out, you attract what you put out, I should say, right? Right. So let
Right.
us be mindful. that. Yeah, let's just be mindful of that. And especially if you're now starting out and you might not have the resources, but think creative. Think, what's the message that I want to send? Right? And it's not about quantity, but quantity. You could have 5 fantastic items in the wardrobe and it just takes you places, right? So let's even talk about, you know, accessories.
Yes, yes.
So that's one of my favorite topics. So that's another area that you can bump up your work look, your accessories. So you might have a plain white top or just a plain top, and you're like, oh, this is so drag. I have an interview. You put a nice accessory on. This is another lovely one. And I mean, it all depends on your industry because I'm showing you the more conservative ones. But of course, depending on your industry, if you're in a more creative industry, you might want to do more, lavish accessories, or you can, right? But if your
Right.
industry is more conservative, then, you know, if you're going into Rome, you do what the Romans do, right? I know that I would have a problem going into a conservative industry, right? Uh, but but thank God I'm able to do. I'm able to do. Yeah, to really wear the things that I like because I'm not in a conservative industry. So even something like this, right? We have like it comes with the matching earrings. You know what
Right.
I mean? So even though it's conservative, but you still want to add a bit of spunk to your workwear. Business casual is a huge problem. Erica, I can't tell you the challenges that human resource managers are having because individuals are wearing casual into the work. So there's a very thin line between business casual and casual wear. And a lot of us don't get it right. Right. So business casual is suffering. Companies are having a hard time because people are coming to work super, super, super casual.
Yeah, that's unfortunate to hear. I know we heard some of that during the pandemic, even when folks were doing some Zoom interviews, right? Like people just felt like, oh,
Yeah.
well, it's on the video, but it's still an interview, right? Like you're still,
Yes.
yeah, you're still being interviewed for a position. So
Yes.
you, it would be, it's the equivalent, it's equivalent of what you would expect to wear if you were coming in. I know one other thing, and I mean, since I know you do all like styling from head to toe, that I feel like some people struggle with often. So you figure out maybe you do the maybe little plainer option for the, let's say, the blazer and the top. Let's say we get a little accessory, and then sometimes people may go a little overboard on makeup. And I mean, I've seen it, like it kind of like that becomes the accessory because I mean,
Yeah.
of all the things that you've named, I would say makeup is the lowest hanging fruit in terms from a cost perspective. But I feel like then people sometimes don't know how to balance. So
Yes.
that's not like
Yeah.
overpowering your whole look, like your whole face
So,
is, yeah, I mean, unless you're going for a cosmetology, makeup, or like fashion, right?
yes.
If that's the
Or
interview,
doing the shoes. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like something like that. But if you're just going to like a more traditional like interview, then I've always been told kind of less is more. Like you don't really want to have like so much, like all the bright colors, and you kind of just want to be careful.
So, but so the trick to that, or what it is, sorry, what it is, one of the things that people tend to do is they match their eyeshadow and their makeup with their clothes, and you don't need to do that. Let's not do that. No. Yeah. So that's one of the things that we really have to avoid because look, think of it this way is that when you walk into the room, or if you're doing virtual or anything, you're walking into the room, you're selling yourself before they even know that you might be the best computer analyst or the best admin assistant. What you project is being seen. Okay, so you have that 5 seconds to grab their attention. What it is about this individual? Why should I hire this person? Is it Am I going to trust them with my front page image? Because that's another thing too. So you are going into a company, and especially depending on the position, can the owner trust you to represent their brand?
That's
We don't
interesting.
think about it like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, if I need to send you on a duty on I need if I need to send you on duty travel, and I need to send you on your own to represent the company, what are you going to look like? So those are all things that when they're interviewing you, especially well, depending on the position, but just picture yourself as representing the company at all cost. Okay. Of course, you're representing yourself, but representing the company at all costs. And one of the things when you're going on interview, I always encourage my clients to do is to do a bit of research. Go on their website, look at the pictures. If you're able to pass by the company and just see how the workers dress,
Okay.
like during lunchtime, you know what I mean? Just do a little research if you can. If you can pass by, see during lunchtime, they're coming out of the building, how are they dressing? Just to give you an idea of how they dress, right? That helps. And is it more conservative? Do they have colors? Are they more casual? Not that you're going to go to the interview very casual, but at least it gives you an idea of how the employees do work, right? So those are things to be mindful of, because so many times we have talented people, when they go on an interview, they lose the position because of their appearance.
Mm.
Yeah, because they don't focus on that. So let's not fall into that trap. Okay. Invest in a few accent pieces, invest in your blazer, invest in your neutrals, and just start building the wardrobe.
You're showing us now like some other like casual, some other pieces we could.
Business, well, just the same stuff that I showed before. Let me just get up so you can see it.
Okay.
So, okay. So here is the blazer that I showed earlier, and putting a top with some details in, right? And so again, having like nice casual, business casual slacks, right? So this is something that you could, you know what I mean? You could wear, you could tuck it in, depending, oops, if you wanted to do, something like this. Shows a bit of details. You can see the details there. It shows that you are, you have a bit of meticulousness to you, right? So
Right.
yes, you're into black, but there's some details to it, right? Um, so we could have done that look, or we could do something like this. If you wanted to do a more monotone look, we could do the gray
Gotcha.
slacks.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, we could absolutely do that. Um, And it's all about just making sure that you are feeling comfortable, but you are appropriate. The thing is being appropriate. And I think that's what a lot of us miss, being appropriate. If you're probably going into a more conservative industry, you could do something like this, right? I mean, not conservative, more creative industry. You
Right,
could
right,
do
right.
something, right? Right? You could do something like this and probably put a brooch here, and it's
Right,
a nice,
right.
you know. So like these pants are really, really great, really, really great for business casual, dressing it up, putting on some pumps, and representing yourself, the best version of yourself. Okay. Um, The other thing too is if the industry is creative, do not go traditional. Because then they can't relate to you.
Right, right, right.
Okay? So the key is just you're going into. That's the first thing. That's the first thing. All right. What environment? Am I going into a PR agency? Am I going into a graphic designer agency? Am I going into a retail, fashion industry? Yeah. If you go there boring, uh, yeah. And so ways to enhance that would be through your accessories. So even if you have on a boring dress, but you can do a super duper fantastic necklace piece. You know what I mean?
Right.
A necklace that will when you walk in, they're like, wow, wow. Yeah. So it's just the little things that can make a difference, that makes a difference as it relates to job interviews, dressing for the workplace, being cognizant of where you're going, being cognizant of the message that you want to send.
Yeah, and I also
Yeah.
was gonna say, like, I know we've been focusing a lot about on our, young women. Any advice you have for the any gentlemen, or people that may be watching
Oh,
this also, like in terms of, how to, because I know like suits can be expensive, but how to, piece together something that would be appropriate for an interview for them as well.
okay, so men, we can't forget you. So as it relates to workwear, interview wear for men, again, it is nice to have your fitted shirts, right? At least two fitted shirts to start off with. And of course, the blazer, right? Doesn't have to be a suit because, I mean, if you're starting out on a budget, having one blazer, having some nice fitted shirts, and two slacks, two pants. Again, the key is making sure that you have nice accents. Could be pocket squares, could be, nice ties, making sure that you know how to tie your tie, making sure you know um, you know, your color combination. So men, here is one thing to be mindful of that a lot of men do not know, that you are allowed three patterns. One, two, three. You are allowed three patterns at any given time. What do I mean by that? So you could be wearing a houndstooth jacket, you could be wearing a striped shirt, and you could be wearing a paisley tie. So they are allowed three patterns, but the key is knowing how to mix those patterns. Okay. So don't think that you have to be wearing a solid shirt because you're wearing a print tie. No, you don't have to. Okay. But if you don't know how to mix the prints, go safe. Right? Yes, go safe. But for those men who are more creative and they know how to merge the prints and the colors together, yes, you definitely can rock up to three prints. But yeah, for men, stick with a good belt. A good belt, that's number one. Oh, the belts. The belts can give you away. The belts absolutely say how fashionable, how detailed, how meticulous you are. And so go for a good belt. Make sure that you have your nice blazer. Make sure you have a couple fitted shirts, nice fitting pants. If the industry does not lend for skinny ankle pants, don't go to an interview like that. Right? Research. What if you're going into banks? Like most banks are more on the traditional conservative side. Be mindful of that. Okay? Not because, let me tell you something as we end, not because it is in fashion, that means it's appropriate. So just be mindful of that, please, please, and please. Thank you so much, Erica, for having me. It was such a pleasure sharing, and I trust that for the viewers, you have learned something, and I look forward to being of service to you in any capacity. Our location is at 89 North Park Avenue. That's in Rockville Center, and we are also online www.stushRetail.com, stushRetail.com. The name of the boutique is Stush Boutique, and right here in Rockville Center. And the hours are Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 11 to 6, Thursdays and Fridays, 11 to 7, Saturdays, 10 to 6. Okay. So it's all about improving, enhancing, and stay stylish, successful, and sophisticated. Thanks again, Erica.
Thank you so much, Patrice, for taking the time to talk to us today about the key staple pieces you should have in your wardrobe, whether you're preparing to apply for the job of your dreams or you just recently got a job and just looking to get some basic staple pieces for your wardrobe so that you can be appropriate at work. The key things I heard you talk about is about making an investment in a quality blazer. So that's one of the things that I heard that you said loud and clear. The other piece is about, you could have a basic shirt and there's a way that you could upgrade that blouse with an accessory, like just a staple piece of jewelry. Or you could go with like the blue color top that you mentioned and the blazer. So there's ways to kind of mix and match, especially if you're someone who after work, maybe you're going to meet up with some friends or have something else to do, and need to dress down what is maybe a more conservative outfit that you may have worn to work for that day. I also heard loud and clear that you should do research on the organization that you're interviewing for if you're looking to buy these pieces for an interview. So I thought it was very interesting that you shared about maybe doing a little drive-by, seeing what the people outside of the building or office are wearing. That is a smart tactic to kind of get a sense of the feel of kind of like the vibe of what people typically wear at that particular establishment. And then also just looking on the website to see what people are wearing on the website in terms of pictures of different staff. What I heard for our gentlemen is, even if you can't buy a suit at the moment, you too can get a nice sports jacket and some slacks and then get a button-up shirt and still can look the part for that particular job. And just want to remind everybody that this is applicable to both if you're applying for a job virtually or in person, because remember, you're still trying to make a great first impression. And less is typically more. Like I heard Patrice, you talked about you don't need to match your makeup to, whatever color you're wearing for the day. Like you can figure out some other neutral colors or things that you could put on your face. And that can also go for jewelry. Like you don't want anything to be too excessive. You just want to be appropriate, which Patrice was one of the things that she definitely said loud and clear for the role, for the organization that you're going to. So if you're going to be working in more fashion, we saw some of the pieces that could be a little more colorful and a little more creative looking. If you're going to work for maybe, let's say, like a bank or something, perhaps it's more conservative. So just make sure that you're wearing what is appropriate. I'm Erica Hill, CEO of Vision Street Research. If you're looking to learn more information about our workforce development services, you can visit www.visionstreetresearch.com. Thanks so much.